Since the dawn of civilization, flags have soared as symbols of identity, loyalty, and faith. In Islam, banners were not mere cloth. They were declarations of collective spiritual resolve. The Holy Prophet Muhammad ﷺ carried a black flag named Uqab, under which the companions marched in unity and divine purpose.
In 1939, when the silver jubilee of Khilafat, Hazrat Muslim Maud Anhu's Khilafat, was celebrated, it also marked the 50 years since the establishment of the Ahmadiyya Muslim Jamaat. In that year, during the Majlis-e-Shura, the proposal was put forth to Hazrat Muslim Maud Anhu that the Ahmadiyya Jamaat should have its own flag, which would symbolize the Ahmadiyya Jamaat. This proposal was accepted by Hazrat Muslim Maud Anhu. Hazur then instructed that the companions of the promised Messiah Islam should be the ones who would cultivate the cotton, who would harvest it, who would spin the yarn, and who would prepare the flag at every step. So much so that it is reported that one of the companions of the promised Messiah Islam, Hazrat Faqih Muhammad Sahib of Winjwan, was the one who grew the cotton, and he presented it to Hazrat Muslim Maud Anhu. And after that, it was prepared at every step, as I mentioned, by the companions of the promised Messiah Islam. The flag was very impressive in size. It was 9 feet high and 18 feet wide. It displayed fully in black, and it displayed the Minaratul Masih in the middle. And on the far right side, there was a crescent and a star. And on the far left side, there was a full moon. Above that full moon, a verse of the Holy Quran was written. وَلَقَدْ نَصَرَكُمُ اللَّهُ بِبَدْرٍ وَأَنْتُمْ أَذِلَّةٌ. Now, the Jalsa took place in December 1939, and it was at that occasion when it was decided during the Khilafat Jubilee Jalsa that Hazrat Muslim Maud Anhu would himself raise that flag. You can tell how monumental that occasion was. And Hazrat Muslim Maud Anhu raised that flag, and it is mentioned in narrations that the verse of the Holy Quran, the prayer of the Holy Quran, Rabbana taqabbal minna innaka antas samiul alim, was also proclaimed aloud by Hazrat Muslim Maud multiple times. And in the same way, all the attendees of Jalsa proclaimed this. And it was, in a sense, to God Almighty. And it symbolized that this Jamaat was established by God, and it would be led by God Almighty at every step.
अहमदियत कौम अहमद के निशान तुझ पे कट मरने को है तैयार तेरे पासबा.
At every Jalsa throughout the world, this Liwai Ahmadiyyat is raised, and every time it is raised with the humble entreaty to God Almighty, that God Almighty may accept our sacrifices and our efforts in the cause of His faith, and that Allah the Almighty may continue to support us with His grand assistance and with His mercy. When the Liwai Ahmadiyyat is raised, there is a protocol that is followed, and there are always attendants who are there to guard the Liwai Ahmadiyyat, the flag of Ahmadiyyat. And that guarding is not only symbolic, but it is an expression that the Khuddam, or the servants of the Jamaat, are always ready to protect the honor of the flag, which is actually the honor of the Jamaat. And even if we have to lay down our lives for this cause, we are ready to do that.
And what does it mean to us today? To every Ahmadi child who sees it, to every elder who stands in reverence, to every missionary who serves beneath its shadow. It means unity. It means legacy. It means the living promise of God that His Jamaat shall prevail.
So flags do not fight, but they do lead armies. They lead the armies towards victory, and the Liwaya Ahmadiyyat is that flag which would lead the Ahmadiyya Jamaat under the blessed institution of Khilafat Ahmadiyya towards the victory, and the victory of Islam is tied with the promised Messiah Islam and tied to his Jamaat, and this flag represents that final victory of Islam.
Wherever this flag is raised, it declares not pride in self, but pride in servitude. A servant of Allah, a soldier of peace, a believer in truth. This is who we are. This is Ahmadiyyat.